Well, good day, everyone, and welcome to the Beaver football edition of Extra Point. In the studio, of course, head coach Zach McRae, and our guest today is player Conner Vezina. Conner is a running back and a linebacker, and you didn't think I would do this to you, but how fast do you run the 40?
I really don't know.
Good answer, because your answer before we went on was a little better, but we won't say that. We'll let the D1 coaches come knocking another time. But congratulations, guys, a 36-14 victory over Sydney. I guess you could say it was actually on a neutral field because you were playing in Billings.
Yeah. Really cool atmosphere. We talked a little bit about last week just how the matchup came about, and when we showed up, I'm sure Conner will say the same thing. Beautiful facility, my goodness. First class the whole way through. Their field is incredible. Their facilities are awesome. I believe that the number that I heard was a $32.7 million project to build the new Lockwood School there, and they were more than hospitable hosts, and it was just a really cool atmosphere all around. Well,
36-14, the final score. I gazed at the stats a little bit. Pretty balanced attack. About 120 passing, 80-something or so on the ground. So pretty balanced attack.
Yeah. It's always bizarre going into a game. You feel like you have a game plan. And then throughout the course of the game, you just kind of adjust to whatever the opponent's doing. And we really felt like we could get after Sydney in the passing game. And we do feel like we were successful in that, but kind of flipped the script in the second half and got into some of our bigger sets. And it's pretty fitting that we have Conner in the studio today, just because we really leaned on our ground attack. We kind of went to some of our bigger sets and just pounded them in the second half. And not to say that wasn't something that we felt like was something we wanted to do, but through the course of a game, you just kind of make some adjustments, and Conner and our other running back, Cale Conan, were the beneficiaries of some pretty physical line play, and were able to pull away in the second half. It was a close game. It certainly felt closer than the score, but so proud of our effort and our physicality. We have come miles since our last two home games, and we still feel like we have miles to go. And we feel like we're going to get there because we have guys like Conner kind of pushing us there.
Well, I'm not sure if the Max Preps box score was all that accurate, but I only counted 3 touchdowns, and those were by Cale. Did you get the other points defensively?
We had a pick six. Callahan Hoffman batted one up into the air, and Connor Kerno was able to pick it off and run it in. And so Cale had 3 rushing touchdowns, and Key Christensen had a quarterback sneak really late in the game as our last score.
So I'm not going to
4
count
on the ground.
I'm not going to count on Max Preps to give me an accurate box score. But that, you talked about the physicality going to the ground game. That seems to be a good offensive strategy across the board. If you find you have that little bit of an edge on the ground, you can wear the defense out by just pounding them with that ground attack.
Yeah, and it's a kind of a little bit different of a personnel too. We call it our jumbo package, and it kind of gets guys fired up. Our jumbo signal is fun, and so we run in, and it's just kind of a different mentality of what we're going to do. And pretty much it ends up being either ball in Conner's hand with Cale lead blocking or vice versa. And so just a really cool ground and pound attack.
So when you say a 2-back attack, is it a halfback, tailback / and then a fullback? Is that your running?
As old school as you can get. 2 tight ends, split back, kind of like in a veer type look, and just going one play right, one play left, and just beating them. So.
Well, and it holds a lot to your offensive line. Bob Beers always said that everything in football happens up front.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the offensive line or it's the defensive line, and your offensive line obviously very successful.
Yeah, and then our offense didn't turn the ball over, and so that was the first time that's happened this year. And so when you can run the ball with success and not turn the ball over, And I don't know if that always speaks to winning, but it's certainly a good start to having some success.
Okay, well, we're going to take a little break right now, and we'll be back and talk to Connor, and we'll also look at the Frenchtown homecoming game right after this. Back to Extra Point, and we're talking to Zach McRae, head coach of the Dillon Beavers, and of course Conner Vezina. And Connor, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
So we were just talking before we went back on after the break about Coach McRae's love of the Cleveland Browns, and I understand that love is not shared by you and the team and your teammates.
Yeah, he gets a lot of boos when he brings it up at practice.
So is there a particular reason why you guys don't like the Cleveland Browns, or is it just because Coach McRae does?
It's because he does, pretty much. He brings so much enthusiasm, and it's like no one shares that with him.
Okay. I'd like to be a fly in the wall one of these times when you guys give him that grief. That would probably be a lot of fun. So, Connor, running back and a linebacker, what's your size? I can't tell with you sitting down.
I'm about 5'11", 180.
And which do you like better? Because I've asked, in Class A football, everybody goes both ways. So I'm going to ask you the question I asked your previous teammates. Which do you like better?
Probably defense, yeah.
Yeah, instead of being hit, you like to do the hitting.
Yeah, the nice part about my position is I can pretty much hit people both sides of the ball, so that's why I like where I play.
So would you be classified then as the fullback portion of the offense?
Little bit of both, like you said. Sometimes I'm blocking for Kale, sometimes Kale's blocking for me. So,
and it looks like you like to block.
Yeah, yep.
And I'm thinking, Zach, as a coach, you like to hear one of your offensive players that's not carrying the ball who says, "I like to block." Yeah,
I think one thing we've been working on is just to be more physical, and one of our goals is to be the most physical team in the state, and Connor embodies that in everything that he does, and it's been fun to watch him grow as a physical football player.
And we want to say too, we want to pass along from Extra Point condolences to Connor, the loss of your grandpa. We actually talked about him quite in depth last time around. Ray Clark, one of the greatest sports fans in general. I'm thinking every once in a while when you get that extra block or maybe that extra step, you're saying that's for Grandpa Ray.
Yeah, yeah.
We talked about the running and whatnot. How's your hands? I mean, because I'm thinking every once in a while, coached by a former quarterback, there's a few plays in there where maybe Kyle will toss you a quick one. Good hands?
I like to say they're pretty good, yeah.
Well, you're a very positive guy, and which you want to have, right?
He's too modest. He made an awesome catch. We had a 2-point play earlier in the game, and he kind of floated to the back of the end zone and made a nice grab with 1 foot down with Key scrambling, and so I know he's being a little bit modest, but yes, he has good hands.
Well, I was going to say, another Dillon Beaver Saturday in the game against Northern, Nate Simpkins made one of those catches too, right on the sidelines too. So you follow Mr. Simpkins in his career?
I guess so. Pretty big shoes to fill, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Dillon football for a change. We briefly touched on this. I'm guessing that your football career started in Dillon with the Dillon Football League,
yep.
That flag football league. How old were you when you first carried a football for the first time?
I think it was preschool, probably. Yeah,
And do you contribute the success of the Dillon Beavers over there? I mean, you were one of those kids, and Zach probably too came up through the Dillon Football League ranks. I've always thought that JP, starting that way back when he started, has contributed greatly with the success because you guys have been learning the X's and O's the right way, the basics from a very young age.
Yeah. Yep. I feel like it's a pretty good deal starting those kids young and just getting them introduced to the game before they start their middle school tackle football. So.
Now Zach talked about several of you Beavers are middle school coaches or Coach Dillon Football League. Are you one of those coaches?
I signed up. I never got a call back, so I'm not too sure. I'll have to talk to Miss Plutt, but I definitely signed up.
So what do you want to coach, offense or defense?
Both.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So we're done putting you on the grill. Thanks for coming in, Connor. Let's talk about Frenchtown. That's your next opponent. What kind of team are we going to be facing when Frenchtown comes to town?
We're really excited to get back in front of our home crowd. We had a little tough stretch there with our first two home games, and Frenchtown comes in and they're big, fast, and physical, and it's going to be another challenge for us. We're excited for homecoming this week. Try to encourage these guys to get out and participate in their homecoming floats. I certainly have so many good memories of doing that, going to the bonfire, and just kind of being heightening that school community, all those things, good things that come with homecoming, and then hoping for a big crowd to watch guys like Connor on Friday night. We're certainly excited. 7 p.m. kickoff. We got a lot of work to do to get prepared for that, but we're certainly excited to get back to work.
Rough itinerary on homecoming activities?
Oh my goodness, just survive. We're doing. I don't know. Are you guys doing a bonfire this year?
I'm not sure. No.
One thing on Connor is he's a little bit modest, but he's pretty sharp in the academic realm of our school. Do you want to talk about your GPA?
It's a 4.013.
So that's pretty special.
Yeah. I
tries to hide that.
Mine was a 3.000.
Absolutely. And so when I ask him that stuff, I know Honor Society takes a lot of that, and Connor's active in Honor Society too. And I know it's a little bit of a branch from talking about Frenchtown, but I think it just speaks to the quality of the student athletes that I get to coach. Certainly I could say that they get to be part of the Beaver program, but it's guys like Connor, guys like a lot of the captains that we've had in here that just make this job so darn special.
Well, Connor, let's get back to you really quick again. We talked about your achievements in high school, both athletically, and then Zach talked about academically. What do you want to do when you grow up? When you leave Dillon and Beaverland, is college football in the works? You're a wrestler too, aren't you?
Nope.
I was your Uncle Steve, I thought maybe, might have passed along wrestling genes to you or something like that. So is college football somewhere out there? And if not college football, what kind of career are you pointing towards?
I'm trying to get it closer to engineering. I don't know what kind yet, but like a degree at either Montana Tech or MSU would be nice. And if football came with that, that'd be cool.
Well, both of those schools are exceptional when it comes to engineering schools. So one of your assistant coaches, Mick Pathausen,
yep.
He engineer, and he went to Montana Tech and raved about it. So, well, whatever it is, best of luck in your future. And Zach, back to Frenchtown.
Yeah.
One quick time. How do we match up with them? Their offense against our defense, and vice versa.
Yeah, I mean, we think it's a good matchup going through film today. And Mondays are kind of we watch our film at noon against Sydney, and then after school we really dive into Frenchtown in their film, and then we were just on the field going through some of their base looks. We feel like we match up well with them. They do have some pretty exceptional athletes that we're going to try to hone in on, and we certainly got a game plan for that. I think one important thing is that, we always play a faceless opponent. We really feel like the only the only person that can beat the Dillon Beavers is the Dillon Beavers. And when we don't have success, it's within our control, which I think is just really cool that we're in control of our own destiny and our own success. And so, yeah, I mean, they spread the ball around a little bit. They played Corvallis last week and showed some different stuff on offense, 2 tight sets, some different personnel. I'm not exactly sure what they're going to run against us. It's nothing that we haven't seen. And then we just kind of shift that back to it's all about blocking and tackling, all those old adages, and just playing our brand of football. And over the course of 4 quarters, I'd bet my entire teacher's salary on the Beavers every time.
Well, it's an old quote, an old coach's quote. There's a game plan, but the only way for the game plan to succeed is to execute.
Yep, absolutely.
So, Zach, Connor, I want to thank you for stopping in and visiting with us again. Connor, best of luck on Friday and in your future.
Thank you.
I think it looks pretty bright. It looks pretty bright.
doubt.
And Zach will be back again next week talking about what happened at Frenchtown. And until then, we'll see you next time on Extra Point.